Welcome, I'm Greg Morse, and today is February 16th. Outside right now is pretty good rain, got some severe thunderstorm warnings and high winds outside, so we're filming this inside my 3D printing area. Apologize about the noise you're going to hear in the background is the 3D printer. Right now it's presently printing out an order. We're going to talk today about something I have had several requests on, and that was the bee float that was out in the backyard. So let's get started, and I'll show you what I have as far as that for today. We'll talk about that, and as well as at the end, if you stick around, I'll show how it's made and show clips of it being printed out. And of course, just before we move to the back, we're also going to show you a clip about a week or so back, showing how the bees were going back against the pollen feeder again. They had stopped a little bit, the red maples were blooming, and with the bad weather, the pollen stuff went down, so the bees started going back on that. So we'll show you the videos at the end, so stick around, and if you have any questions, feel free to post them down below. And if you have any questions as far as ordering stuff, they'll also be listed down below. Let's get started. And let's get started. What you see in front of you right now is the bee bath. That's the black bowl that's designed right in front of us. And behind that's two yellow different type of bee floats. First off, the bee bath. Everything that here I'm going to show you is all made out of PETG. And in short, UV stable, food grade, and high temperature tolerance for being outside and being able to withstand the weather. The bee bath is a little under 1.5 inches deep, just over 10 inches wide on the inside, plenty of space to feed numerous hives as far as putting water out for the bees. It's not a necessity, but aesthetically it does work good with the floats, as well as help also increase the chances of not drowning. And we'll talk about that in a second. Next, back behind it is my original bee float. The only thing I've done differently, and I'll show why in a second, is I put these little tabs on there for picking it up. If you get this without the bee bath, you can get it without these tabs because it won't be necessary, but if you get it with the bath, then I'll show you in a second why you might want to use those. And then over here is a 3-piece float. Basically it has pretty good sized pontoons, your big air cavities, plastic floats, but this here helps it float as well. So when it puts it in the water, this here will actually be a little bit more coated with water on the top, but the bees still won't be able to drown. They may be a little bit touched into the water, but they still work great. But these also work good for as sugar water feeding. Putting them inside of a bucket. I've seen one of these similar, a little bit different design for sugar water feeding in a 5-gallon bucket. You can put these in a 5-gallon bucket, and that'll help prevent drowning as well. Of course, if the bucket's too wide, you might want to put something on the outside perimeter like pine straw or something like that, so that the bees have land bridges so that they won't drown as well. But once again, these were primarily designed for water, but you can use them for sugar water if you wish. We'll get back to this one right over here. Reason why I put those little tabs on there, you put this in there, it's kind of hard to get it out. Because I put it where the space was so tight around the edges that bees wouldn't fall over the edge and drown. So if you wanted to pull this out for cleaning or whatever without having to pick the whole thing up and dump out water and stuff, you can just grab both ends or just grab one end, and it helps you remove it. Like I said, if you order it by itself, you'll get it without the tabs. If you want tabs, I can include them. That's nothing. It's just whatever you prefer. And here's the bee bath. Now a little background on PETG. Over here we're going to show you a little compromise. Beware of people printing the 3D items and selling them, and read what they're made out of. If it says PLA, you want to avoid that. The reason I say that is PLA, obviously not food grade, it's not UV stabilized, and it's very heat sensitive. This right here is orange one you see right here. This was just outside 3 months last year, and that's PLA. I tested it with this first. I saw what was happening. I didn't like it. I went ahead and waited, got my order in. So then I turned around and replaced it with this, added the bee logo in it, and I went ahead and printed this out. And this one here is the one that was outside in the video, and it's been outside since around August of last year. Cleans up very well. This one here, I tried to clean the mold and stuff that started up on it, and it didn't clean up nowhere near as well as being faded. And then if you'll look at it, it warped, and that was just about 3 months outside. Where this one here, still flat. So when you order something, if it's 3D printed, make sure the person who's printing it, and it's going to be outside, they use something that's UV stabilized and can tolerate the heat. If you have any questions or if you're interested in any of these products, these all three can be bought individually or package, however you want. The link will be down below. And if you have any questions, once again, just post. Now, let's go ahead and I'll show you, first off, the printing of how I made when I was printing these out, so you can see how they're made and what it looks like on the inside as they're being printed, for those of you that don't understand or don't know about 3D printing. And then at the very end, we'll show you what the pollen feeder was doing just a few days ago, not too long ago. Thanks for joining us, and talk to you later. Here it is, about 1/4 of the way through building. All the slots are done, and as you can see, well, now you can see where all the air pockets are going to be. It's going to make this actually float. And here's that same print 5 hours into it, and as of right now you can see where all the buoyancy is going to come from. All these air chambers, it's going to get topped off and trap air inside. So about a little over an hour to go, and it'll all be done. And well, just a quick update. Today is February 14th, Valentine's Day. And like I said, it'll just be a couple of weeks with those red maples for the pollen and everything. We've had a little bit of rain the last couple of days. And as you see, the bees are returning back to the pollen substitute. And they'll be hitting us again until the next good natural pollen source kicks in.